Greetings and welcome to FreedomBookClub.com's video announcement for February 2012. My name is Ferb and I'm the managing editor of the club's website. Tonight we are listening to an album called Indigo Spirit, a fusion of classical, electronic, and Delta blues music. We'll provide a link to that so its producers don't sue us. So, on with the show. February 2012's Book of the Month is The Case Against the Fed by Murray Newton Rothbard. Here is how the survey results played out. In 5th place, we had Mao, The Unknown Story by Yung Chang and John Holliday. In 4th place, None of the Above with 3% of the shares voted. In 3rd place, with 9.7% of the votes cast, Passion of Man's Savior by Gregory Coffin. Mr. Coffin, I'll get your review done sometime this month, so be sure to let us know about any future books you have published, and we'll be glad to put them up for consideration. In 2nd place, with 25.3% of the voted shares, is The Illusion of Victory by Thomas Fleming. And our winner this month, with 60.2% of the vote, is The Case Against the Fed by Murray Newton Rothbard. Okay, the image of the graph will be updated to reflect the final vote totals. And here is a short review of the Book of the Month as found on Goodreads.com by a reviewer named Lewis from Kennesaw, Georgia. A friend recommended that I read this book after we had a short discussion about the Federal Reserve. I only understood the Fed from a very general perspective, and with the current financial crisis fresh in mind, I decided to delve into it. This book concludes with a detailed history of how the Federal Reserve was brought to life by those that would most benefit in a true fox guarding the henhouse scenario, and how it has led to a long series of economic boom and bust cycles. However, from my perspective, the most valuable part was at the beginning, with a layman's explanation of fractional reserve banking and how money is created out of thin air, leading to the invisible tax of inflation. Very good primer for those interested in the financial structure we are operating under. Okay. Our finalists for the month, being considered for the month of March are finalist A, James Madison and the Making of America by Dr. Kevin Gutzman. The author tells me this book is being considered for a Pulitzer Prize, and the publisher is sending the club a free copy for our rental library. Kickbacks. Gotta love it. So, I'm going to read you the product description and go as fast as I can and make it so you can hear me. In James Madison and the Making of America, historian Kevin Gutzman looks beyond the way James Madison is traditionally seen as the father of the Constitution to find a more complex and sometimes contradictory portrait of this influential founding father and the ways in which he influenced the spirit of today's United States. Instead of an idealized portrait of Madison, Gutzman treats readers to the flesh and blood story of a man who often performed his founding deeds in spite of himself. Madison's fame rests on his participation in the writing of the Federalist Papers and his role in drafting the Bill of Rights and Constitution. Today, his contribution to those documents is largely misunderstood. He thought that the Bill of Rights was unnecessary and insisted that it not be included in the Constitution, a document he found entirely inadequate and predicted would soon fail. Boy, was he right. Madison helped create the first American political party, the first party to call itself Republican, but only after he had argued that political parties in general were harmful. I'm going to skip a little bit and go down. Madison, let's see, where was I? In so many ways, the contradictions both in Madison's thinking and in the way he governed foreshadowed the conflicted state of our Union now. His greatest legacy, the disestablishment of Virginia's state church and adoption of the libertarian Virginia Statute for religious freedom, is often omitted from discussion of his career. Yet, understanding the way in which Madison saw the relationship between the church and state is key to understanding the real man. Kevin Gutzman's James Madison, The Making of America, promises to become the standard biography of our fourth president. I think that we could probably help him get to the top of the bestseller list if it is selected. All right. Finalist B is The Politically Incorrect Guide to Capitalism by Robert Murphy. Okay. Here is a review from Walter Block on Amazon for Robert Murphy's book. This is a magnificent introduction to free market economics, the last best hope for civilization. This is a modernization and in many ways an improvement over Henry Hazlitt's justly famous but now somewhat outdated book, Economics in One Lesson. Ditto for my own far less famous and less worthy book, Defending the Undefendable, speaking as an old coot of the free enterprise movement. I'm delighted that this baton is now being passed to the very able young people such as Paul Murphy. And finalist C is Duopoly, How Republicrats Control the Electoral Process by Darrell W. Perry. And so here's a review from Mick, an Amazon reviewer. Perry's latest work is a somewhat rare find in today's liberty-oriented literature. An easy-to-read, well-researched argument that presents information that will be genuinely fresh to most readers. All of his points are well-made and backed up with factual information. Duopoly is a must-read for anybody interested in a political alternative to the two-party system, or for anybody who still believes that our current system is truly representative of the majority of Americans. This book was also touted as a great book by Richard Winger from Ballot Access News. Many libertarians are familiar with his work. Okay, finalist D is Dreams and Nightmares by Harry Felker. So, I'll read the product description for that. Dreams and Nightmares is a fiction short story book from the mind of Harry Felker. The stories within offer a wide range, including science fiction, alternate reality, parody, and satire. Harry, who is an anarchist, displays his philosophical points of view on various subjects in this book. If there is any disruption of one's view of the status quo, or a reinforcement in the distrust in authority, it is purely coincidental and not specifically by design. Harry is an educator through online media, contributor to the Libertarian Enterprise, and a freelance counter-economist. Okay, back to my ugly mug. So, go to freedombookclub.com/vote.html and let us hear which book you would most like to read in March. This is what the voting page looks like. It's got all the choices, correct time and everything. Alright, so doing a little better on time than I have on the past 3 takes. Polling closes on February 29th, 2012 at 11:59 Greenwich Mean Time, minus 7 hours. So, go ahead and place your votes now so you don't have to worry about it. Okay, anonymous responses get 1 share. If you respond to the survey, including a valid email address, you get 5 shares. If you subscribe to our rental library, your vote gets 10 shares. If you pay monthly for our subscription to the Book of the Month, you get 15 shares. If you give us $300 a month, $300 a year or more, you are considered a generous benefactor, and you get 25 shares. So, hit the subscription button if you really want to increase the way things are done on the book club. I'm going to open it up to some new perks as well. So, don't forget, also, go to freedombookclub.com/c/p/2011.html. This